My name is Jenny Gerbis. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Council on Aging here in Scituate, and with my trusty friend Norman Tatro, he is the SHINE counselor. SHINE stands for Serving Health Insurance Needs of Everyone. So anytime that anyone has a question about insurance, health insurance, or prescription advantage, or any other services that are available out there, he's the one that we turn to. And I will turn it over to him.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
A little bit intimidating. I'm going to stand, if nobody minds. I've always thought that the best idea to figure out where we are or where we're going is to find out a little bit about the past, because that's a guide to where we're going. So that Medicare, and I'm assuming everybody here is interested in Medicare, started back in the 1960s. The original parts of Medicare were Part A and Part B. Part A is hospitalization. Part B is for all the outpatient stuff, the doctors, the ambulance, your labs, your tests, your x-rays. Since 2005, 2006, we've all found out there's a new part of Medicare. That's Part D, and that speaks to the prescription program that everybody has to have. If you don't have a prescription plan, they're not going to throw you in jail. It doesn't work that way. But if you don't sign up when you're initially eligible for a prescription plan, you could be subject to penalties. The penalties for late sign-up for the prescriptions, 1% for each month that you're late. I had a woman in Weymouth the other day, 82, never taken any meds. She was eligible to sign up for a Part D plan 12, 13 years ago. She never did. So now we're talking minimum, 10 years, 120 months, penalties 120%. And you're thinking, okay, 120% of what? Well, Medicare, they like to keep statistics. The average cost of a prescription plan is $35 a month. So it's 120% of 35, which is $42 a month penalties, and that comes directly out of your Social Security check. Medicare doesn't trust us. They want to get their money up front. So that comes out of your Social Security,
Yep.
and it's a lifetime penalty. It never goes away. The unfortunate situation for this lady, she doesn't take any meds, but she decided to be proactive just in case. So she's on the cheapest plan possible, $12.60 a month, and her penalties are $42. So that if you're eligible for a prescription plan, sign up for it. Please save yourself some money in the bargain.
Right.
As far as the Medicare premiums, right now the premiums are at two different levels. Anybody going on Medicare this year is paying $134 a month. That comes out of your Social Security check. If you're not getting Social Security, Medicare will send you a bill, 3 months at a time. So 3 times 134, $402. Do yourselves a favor. The billing comes out of an office in St. Louis. That's where they want to send you the check. Do not play games. Send them the check. Because if they don't get payment, they will throw you off Medicare Part B, and then we have a hassle getting you back on the program. And there are penalties that can be involved. Now, some other folks are paying less than $134 a month. So anybody who was on Medicare, we'll say 2 years ago, they might be paying $109, somewhere in that area. And the reason for the difference in the premiums is this. Social Security hasn't been going up too fast the last couple of years. In fact, it hasn't. 1 year it didn't go up at all. So by law, if Social Security does not go up, the Medicare premiums cannot go up. So there are a bunch of us, me included, stuck at $109. But now we're getting a big pay raise this year. I think it was, 2.3% for the Social Security increase? So that Next year, for 2018, is a 2.3 increase. So that, what that means for everybody, the folks at 109, we're probably going to be paying more, right? But that number has not been determined. So, probably late night TV, it'll be on there at some point in time. So that's where we are, at least as far as the premiums and whatever. All right, Part A, right, this is going to be a basic Medicare 101. Right now, if you have Part A and nothing else, you've got A and B, no other insurance. If you go in the hospital, you are on the hook for $1,316. That can happen more than once a year, depending on the circumstance, the spacing of the hospital visits. So we know that deductible right now is $1,316. What's it going to be for next year? We don't know. Medicare hasn't made up its mind yet. Part B, which covers all the outpatients, the doctors and the ambulance, that has a yearly deductible of $183. What's it going to be next year? We don't know. Once you pay your $183, Medicare pays 80%. You're responsible for the other 20%. So that's the broad framework that we're working with right now. A, B, and D. Once you get A, B, and D, A and B in place, now you're looking for extra insurance. How are you going to get it? Right? There are two different ways you can get extra insurance. One is through what's known as a Medigap plan. We've got 7 insurers in the state of Massachusetts who sell Medigap insurance. 2 types of plans. One's called Core, the other one is Supplement 1. And that's in the packet I gave you.
Who's the cheapest, Norm?
Good question, Jen. All right, the Core plan is the cheaper of the 2. I'll use Blue Cross as a for instance. Currently, for 2017, the Blue Cross Core plan costs $93 a month. That's a ballpark. $93 a month. As far as what you get for your money, it does not pay for the hospitalization. So you're on the hook for the $1,316. You still have to pay the Part B deductible of $183. Once you've paid the deductible, the plan will pay the other 20% that Medicare does not pay. The Supplement 1, it's more expensive. It's almost twice as expensive. It's about $183 a month in 2017. Again, that's Blue Cross. That covers everything. Covers the hospitalization. You're good for 100 days in a skilled nursing facility if you need to go there after the hospital. You don't have to worry about the Part B deductible. The $183 is paid for. If you're out of state, you're covered. The only requirement is you go to see somebody who takes Medicare. As long as your doctors take Medicare, they will take these plans. Doesn't matter whether it's Blue Cross, United Healthcare, whoever the insurance company is. As far as the plans themselves, the Core plans are all the same as far as the basic plans. So we tell folks, if that's all you're looking for, a basic plan, buy the cheapest. Right? You can look at the chart, the Medigap chart, which is at the end of the first section here. And here are the costs for 2017, 2018, the 2018 bills. Right? The Core plans. A lot of folks like AARP. That's up to you. Right? Their plan costs $125 a month, the Core plan. Mm-hmm. It is the same plan as the Blue Cross Blue Shield at $95.30. Mm-hmm. The same. If you want to spend the extra money, my suggestion would be, give me the $30. Right. I'll sign you up for the insurance. Right? You're going to get the same coverage. Right. Now, okay, do some plans give you a little bit extra? Of course. I'm up here wearing glasses, on and off. And a number of folks here in the audience have glasses. Eye exams are not considered very important by Medicare. Regular eye exams are not covered. Your eye exams will be covered if you've got cataracts, glaucoma, diabetes, macular degeneration. In those instances, Medicare will cover the yearly eye exam. I had the unfortunate situation, my cataracts have been taken care of. So I went to the doctor's office. The receptionist says, I've got bad news. You have to pay the bill, right? Because I don't have any eye problems, right? So that my plan does not cover eye exams. Right? So if you're looking for eye exam coverage, you're going to have to pay for it. Right? Blue Cross will sell you a rider that you can get eye exams once every 2 years. They'll give you $100 towards glasses. The other way is you look for a plan that sells eye coverage. The Tufts plan is more expensive, but it covers eye exams. Yearly eye exams, $150 towards glasses. The same thing holds true for the Supplement 1 plans. The basic plans are all the same. Do yourselves a favor. Unless you're looking for something special, like the eye coverage, buy the cheapest plan available. Right? As long as the doctor takes Medicare, they will take the insurance. So that the only question you have to ask, doctor, do you take Medicare? If the answer is yes, they will take any one of these 7 plans, plans from the 7 companies, whether it's the core or the Supplement 1. And since that's the only question you're going to ask, do you take Medicare? You're going to get the same coverage in Alaska as you do down here in Scituate. If you've got the core plan and you go out of country, you are covered for emergencies only. Right? Medicare's not going to pay a dime. It's the insurance company that's going to reimburse you. So if you have an emergency, you're going to pay the bill. Come back home, submit a claim to the insurance company, they will reimburse you. The Supplement 1 covers anything that Medicare would have paid for. I'm up in Montreal, I'm visiting the relatives. I feel a cough coming on, it's not an emergency. But I can go see the doctor, I pay the bill, come back home, submit it to my insurance company, they will reimburse me. As long as I've got the Supplement 1 plan. Right? But it's going to be a service that Medicare covers. So I cannot go to Montreal and look for a hair transplant because that's not covered. It's not covered here. Right? So that if you do the Medigap plan, what you're going to do is you're going to sign up for a separate prescription plan, Part D. We'll do the search for you. Right now, there are 22 different plans out there. Do not waste your time trying to sort through the plans. Right? Let me worry about that, or one of the other Shine Councils worry about it. The reason I say it is this. A lot of folks say, gee, give me a list of the plans. There's one on here for $12.60. That's the one I'm going to sign up for. That's the wrong way to approach it. What you're looking for as far as a prescription plan is a plan that covers all your medications. The insurance companies are not required to cover all your meds. They're not. Each of them has their own separate formulary. So it's possible that one medication could be covered by Plan A. It is not covered by Plan B. It happens all the time. The other thing is, it matters where you buy your meds. I know you're going to be shocked to hear this, but the insurance companies have cut deals with the pharmacy chains so that some of the pharmacies are referred to as preferred pharmacies, which means that's where you're going to get your best deal. CVS may be a preferred pharmacy for some plans. Walgreens might be, even Walmart. It's possible Stop and Shop could be a preferred pharmacy. So that what I asked you to do if you give me a list of meds because you'd like me to find the cheapest plan that covers your meds, please be flexible. Tell me the pharmacy you would like to use, but hopefully you'll say yes. I am open to finding a pharmacy that will give me a better price if one exists. And let me know if you want to do mail order. Mail order might be less expensive. You would think it would be, but in a lot of cases, it is not. I have a very good friend up in Weymouth. Did a Part D search for him. I told him, here's the cheapest plan for you. You're going to become very familiar with your pharmacist at Walmart. So what does he do? He does mail order. Now he called me up to complain about the pricing. And I had to tell him, Arthur, you're an idiot. He's a good friend, so I can say that to him. I said, I specifically told you, you've got to go to the pharmacy. Mail order is more expensive. I think on the ballpark, mail order might have been $300 or $400 more expensive than going to the pharmacy. Right. Some plans, I think there are one or two that won't allow you to do mail order next year. That's just the nature of the situation.
So let me just interject. So the key is to leave the information here, find a custom fit program, pharmacy, and plan for you all, and you can either sign up or stay with, because every probably has one already, but it's good to have it looked at every year, because there's always changes, and the relationships, again, that drug companies have with pharmacies changes every year as well. So again, you want to find the custom fit program that Norman or I can search for, and then go. The recommendation you don't have to take, but that it's definitely going to save money, because it is always just the cheapest plan.
Right. So there was one plan for 2017. The insurance company is called Envision, E-N-V-I-S-I-O-N. It happens to be the cheapest plan out there for 2017. It's $14.60 a month. The preferred pharmacy was Walgreens. Well, they must have got a better deal with CVS, because in 2018, CVS is the preferred pharmacy. You can still go to Walgreens, but you'll pay more money. So that this is why you have to check every year.
Every year.
Right? It's like every year you go get your car inspected because you want to make sure the car is safe for the road. The state wants to make sure it's safe. You do the Part D search because you want to stay up to date. What's the best plan for me? What's the lowest costing plan? I mean, money's the name of the game. I know some folks have allegiances with particular pharmacies. If you don't want to save money, that's up to you. I'm going to present you the situation that saves you the most money. You're free to accept or decline it. Whatever you want to do. Right? So that's one way to get your prescription coverage. Right? You get a separate prescription plan. You have a Medigap plan that covers your health insurance needs. The other option is, and I'm going to pack it in here.
Here comes the hard part.
Yeah. Some of you got black and white, some have color. I apologize.
It looks like it's either the green. It's got a green or that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that we have what's known as Medicare Advantage plans. Those are either HMO plans or PPOs. The HMO plans, strict networks. You might see something on the list here that really appeals to you. Boy, that is the world's best plan. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But you've got to call the billing office at your doctor's office. You've got to find out, doctor, for example, do you take the Tufts Medicare HMO? If any of you folks here go to Harbor Medical down on the Driftway, guess what? They don't take Tufts. Tufts is a 5-star rated plan. It's the highest rating you can get for Medicare. But Harbor Medical doesn't take it. Right? They've got some good plans. but you can't use it at Harbor Medical. So now, if you like the plan, what are you gonna do? You either like the plan and you get rid of your doctor, now you're gonna find a new doctor. Well, okay, who takes Tufts around here? Okay, South Shore Medical up in Norwell. You wanna go to Norwell, that's up to you. But they do take the Tufts plan, so that if one of these appeals to you, you've got to find out whether your doctors take it or not. That's a very important step. The one thing that differentiates the Medicare Advantage plans from what we call original Medicare, which is Medicare, the Medigap, and the prescription plans, is that everything is rolled into one with these plans. You still have to have Medicare A and B, but these plans combine health insurance, hospitalization, and prescriptions, all in one plan. You probably see, depending on the plan, lower premiums. So for example, on page 1, Aetna, the top plan, they've got a plan here for 0. You can't get any lower than that. That's a great deal. But if you look across to the right, okay, primary care doctor, it's going to cost you $20 a visit. Your specialist, $45 a visit. And because it's an HMO, you have to get a referral to see a specialist. You've got to make sure the specialist is in the network. Because if the specialist is not, and you go see the specialist, and I've seen this happen in the past, the company will decline coverage. So, several years ago, I had somebody in Weymouth. The doctor recommended that she go see a specialist. She was in a Tufts HMO. Well, the doctor recommended him. Doctor must know what he's doing. He didn't. So she went to see the specialist. She got a bill from Tufts saying, we're not paying for this. You are on the hook for the $2,000. Right? So that each step of the way. If you see a primary, make sure the primary is in the network. If you're seeing a specialist, every one of the specialists, heart doctor, foot doctor, whatever the case may be, you have to ensure that all of them are in the network. You're going to have co-pays for the hospitalization. This plan, you're going to pay the first 5 days, $360. And you're probably thinking, well, Norman, when you started this rant, you said that hospitalization, Part A for the Medicare, the deductible was $1,300. If I'm in the hospital here, I've got to pay $1,800 for 5 days. Why is that? Because when you sign up for a Medicare Advantage plan, you play by their rules. This is your Medicare. Now, if I go see a doctor, okay, doctor's probably going to ask me, show me your Medicare card. I have a Medigap plan, so now I've got to produce my health insurance card. When I go to the pharmacy, I have a separate card for that. So I've got 3 different cards I've got to produce. If you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, the first time around, the doctor's going to ask for your Medicare card, but after that, that's it. Each time you go to the doctor, for example, you'll pull out the Aetna card. If you go to the pharmacy, you pull out the Aetna card. So this becomes your Medicare. Everything is in one package. For people who are relatively healthy, people will ask me, okay, should I sign up for a Medicare Advantage plan? It does not bother me which way you go as far as your extra coverage, whether it's a Medigap or Medicare Advantage. You just have to know what the rules are. If you're going to take a Medicare Advantage plan, I think, this is my opinion, you should be relatively healthy. Because if you go to the doctor quite often, you're going to have co-pays you're going to pay all the time. Right? If you're seeing 3 specialists a month, and I've seen people do this, primary ones, 3 different specialists every month. Okay, so the primary here, $20. 3 specialists, $135. Now I'm up to $155. Is a zero premium really that appealing? I mean, I don't know. Right? So I think you should be relatively healthy. The other thing about the HMOs is this. It's a network plan. I've seen bizarre cases where a client in Weymouth goes to Quincy, he was out of network. It happens. Right? So that more than likely, if you travel within the state of Massachusetts, you're probably in network. You probably could find a network doctor if you had to. I cannot guarantee that. But certainly, as soon as you leave the state, now you are out of network. You're only covered for emergencies. So if you're up in Vermont peeping at the leaves during the fall, and you don't feel good, and you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, what are you going to do? You're out of network. You're either going to pay the doctor out of pocket. If it's not an emergency, you're going to pay the bill, whatever the bill is. If it's an emergency, you will be covered. But if it's not, you've got some hard choices you've got to make. You either pay the bills up there, or you come back home, you cut your vacation short. That's up to you. Right? So that there are approximately 20 different Medicare Advantage plans in this handout. Most of them are HMOs. Prices will vary. So for example, Aetna, zero. I know people on zero premium plans. One of my fellow Shine counselors is on one of these zero premium plans. She loves it. Take a couple of generic meds. She goes to California to see her daughter, right? But she's in the PPO. I'll get to that in a second.
That's another hard one.
Right? So, but the HMOs, again, good plans, but they're going to be more restrictive. But you have to go to their doctors, their hospital. You can go to the pharmacy using the same card as you would for your health care. That's up to you. Right? The alternative would be one of the other types of plans, PPO, Preferred Provider Organizations. With those, you can see doctors in network, out of network. Depending on the plan. So for example, on the same page, page 1, Aetna has a PPO plan. $35 a month. Right, but you can see, with them, the pricing is a little bit different. If you see doctors in the network, you're going to pay less. You can see doctors out of network, but you'll pay more. If we go to the back, you're going to pardon me here, because see if I can find the Blue Cross, where they're at. Blue Cross offers PPO plans. They've got 3 of them. You can pay zero.
Where is it?
Well, okay. On page 4
There it is.
of this section. Yep. On page 4, we've got the Blue Cross PPO plans listed. So that we've got one at 0, one at 76 for next year, one at 262. And if you look at the first two, $25, $45, the first one, $25 for the primary, $45 for the specialist. Doesn't matter whether you see doctors in network, out of network. The cost is the same. So that's the plan my fellow counselor is on. The last one, 262. We're not supposed to have opinions, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. If you're going to pay $262 for a Medicare Advantage plan, my question to you would be, are you kidding me? Right? $262 and you're paying co-pays. Does that make any sense? Think about it. You could buy a Medigap plan for $193, right? The better of the 2 Medigap plans. No co-pays, no deductibles, as long as it's a Medicare covered service. Right? Yes, you have to get a separate prescription plan. Hopefully we can find a plan that covers your meds and the cost is reasonable. But $262 a month so I can have co-pays doesn't make much sense to me. You really have to think about it. right? But, again, you can see doctors in network, out of network. That's the beauty of the PPO plans. And plenty of people sign up for those. But again, what you're doing is you're taking lower premiums for copays later on down the line. So before you sign up for one of these plans, whether it's HMO or PPO, you really have to investigate, okay, how much have I spent on health care this year? How much did I spend last year? It may or may not be a predictor of things to come for next year, but it gives you an idea, right? Okay, my premiums are going to be $76 a month. Okay, that's about $900 a year. I've got copays. What have my copays been? Well, you know, if the numbers are in your favor, maybe a PPO plan's the way to go. You'll save some money. So there are different ways you can get your Medicare coverage. So whatever you feel most comfortable with. I'm comfortable with either way. Just trying to make it sure that it works for you. That's the most important thing. And then in back of that, you know, I don't know how helpful it is, but here's a chart here that lists all the PPO plans and the HMO plans. So it's a quick reference, but if you really want more specific information, you really should look at this handout here that lists all the Medicare Advantage plans. You can see what the plans cost, what the copays are, how much you're going to pay for your meds. It'll give you an idea as far as what you pay for your meds. Now, the next exercise, you got a two-page handout here. It says, got Medicare.gov up at the top. Plan details. I wanted to give you an idea of what a Part D search looks like.
There we go.
And so that we ran a search for somebody, and the recommendation for this particular client was that he sign up for this particular plan, Express Scripts Medicare. That's the name of the plan. And overall rating, 4 out of 5 stars. That's pretty good. 3 is average. You know, sometimes you get a tough choice to make. You might have a 2-star plan, but it's the lowest price around. Okay, so the ratings speak to customer service, among other issues, problem resolution. If the dollars are close, I probably would not recommend a 2-star plan to you. If the dollars are not close, I'll tell you, right, it's the cheapest plan, but customer service is not this plan's forte. Just be aware of it when you call. Right? So that this particular plan, monthly premium is $33.40 a month. It has a deductible. I don't want you to be scared away by seeing that the plan has a deductible. There are a number of zero deductible plans out there. But it's entirely possible, as it was in this case, the plan with a deductible was the cheapest option. And in some cases, the difference can be several hundreds, if not more, dollars as far as the difference. Right? So that it's just a matter of, with a deductible, a lot of the plans, the deductible does not apply if your meds are generics. So if your meds are generics, you might pay $1, $3, whatever the case may be. The deductible normally applies to brand name drugs. When we do the search and give you the results, we assume that all the meds you listed, you're going to buy them the first month, whether you do or not. But that's the way the system figures things out.
Right.
Right? So that you're normally going to pay more the first month because you're meeting the deductible. Once the deductible is met, the prices will drop down sharply.
And you can see that on the graph.
Right. So if you look at the graph on page 2, should be on the back side, you can see, right? The first month, this person's paying, it assumes that buying all the meds the first month. The deductible is met the first month. And then after that, the prices drop sharply.
And again, this is custom fit for every client. If you note that this person takes 5 medications, the recommendations on the front for 2 different pharmacies, whatever you prefer, but again, this is, every single one of these is different for every single client.
And the reason I printed this out, I want you to take a look at it. If you look at the bar graph, the last 2 months of the year, the prices are going up. What's that all about? Anybody here ever heard of a donut hole? Anybody here ever fallen into the donut hole? Right. What happens is this. Right? If you look at the left-hand column, it says full cost of drugs. And you stand down to the bottom of the column and you can see that if the person was buying the drugs on a monthly basis, the retail cost of his meds would be $375. I'm rounding off. What Medicare does is this. The target number for the donut hole is $3,750 for 2018. So now what happens is that the insurance company is keeping track of your retail costs when you go to the pharmacy each month. So this person here, $375 a month. In 10 months, that person's going to hit the donut hole. They're going to be at $3,750. And you're probably thinking, okay, so what effect does that have on me? Unfortunately, the effect is bad. Once you reach that certain number, $3,750 in 2018, as this person will, the co-pays will go up. So that this person here, okay, was taking Spiriva. It's an inhaler medication. It's very expensive. Once the client meets the deductible, he's going to be paying $18 a month for a $364 medication. And you're thinking, isn't America great? Right? That I can get an expensive med like this for only $18. Well, in 10 months, this person's going to hit the donut hole. Now he's going to have a surprise, because now the rules change. Instead of charging $18 copay for this Spiriva, now it's a percentage. For next year, for brand name drugs, it's 35% of retail. So $364 times 35% is probably, if you look under the column, it says coverage gap. That's the official term for the donut hole. Right? Paying $127 for that particular med. Right? So that if you hit the target number, your co-pays will go up. At some point in time, some folks have a lot of meds, very heavy expenses. They're going to hit what's known as catastrophic coverage. I call it la-la land. But basically, the easy way to think about it is this. If the total retail cost of your meds hits somewhere between $7,000 or $8,000 for the year, you probably will be in catastrophic coverage. That's a ballpark. And what happens if you look at the last column, catastrophic coverage, now the prices of the meds drops sharply. It's because they take a percentage. Right? For brand name drugs, the cost of in catastrophic coverage, it's either 5% of retail or $8.35, whatever is higher. For generics, again, it's 5% of retail or $3.35, whatever is higher. Right? But you've got to have a lot of meds, or some very expensive meds, to get there. Right? So now, you're probably thinking, all right, donut hole. Is there anything I can do to alleviate the problem?
Is there something we can do, Norm?
Yes, there is, Jen. But the last sheet I included in here is applying for Prescription Advantage. Prescription Advantage is a state plan. it provides secondary insurance for people who have Part D plans, or who get that coverage through a HMO or PPO. It provides secondary coverage. And what the state says is this. Okay, categories from 0 to 4. As soon as you get into the donut hole, you have immediate coverage. So for example, that poor chap who was paying $127 in the donut hole for the Spiriva, worst case scenario, category 4, the most he will pay is $30. The state picks up the difference. Now, there are eligibility requirements for the plan. For a single individual to get on the plan for free, again, I'm going to ballpark the numbers. It's about $36,000 gross. So, as a single individual, if your gross income was $36,000 or less, you can join Prescription Advantage for free. And you get immediate coverage if you are in the donut hole. For a married couple, it's about $48,000. Slightly higher, but about $48,000. There is another category, category 5. You have to pay $200 to become a member. That's for people higher incomes. For a couple, it's up to $81,000 a year. In category 5, you do not get any benefits until you reach $3,565 out of pocket for the year. That does not include your premiums for the plan. It's just what you spent at the pharmacy. Once you do that, you pay nothing for your meds for the rest of the year. In the 8 years I've been doing this, okay, how many times have I seen this happen? Maybe 2 or 3 times. The people who take advantage of this are probably, I know in one case, the client is a diabetic, has to buy insulin, the pens, the vials of the insulin medications. She's married. The gross income is more than $48,000 a year. But by the end of September, she's already spent $3,565 out of pocket for her medications. What that means for her is that for the rest of the year, October, November, December, she does not pay a dime. The state picks up the payments for all the meds. So that there is a way to help people who are in the donut hole. And you'll probably think, well, I've got just a couple of generics. Why do I want to sign up for this plan? If you can sign up for free, who can beat free? Sign up for it. The reason you want to do that is, okay, one, maybe your meds change in the future. Maybe you're on some expensive medications in the future. You've got a way to help you out to cover the extra expenses if you ever hit the donut hole. And the other reason you want to join is this. I'm taking a couple of generics now, and it's going to be that way the first couple of months of 2018. But now my doctor puts me on some expensive medications. Generally speaking, once you sign up for a Part D plan, or an HMO, or a PPO, you are stuck in that plan for the rest of the year. So that you make your decision for January 1. Again, what we're doing is we're taking a snapshot of your meds today. I can't predict what they're going to be next year. We do the best with what we know today. Generally speaking, once you are in the prescription plan January 1, you are in that plan for the rest of the year. Unless you're a member of Prescription Advantage. That's one of the other benefits. Not only does it provide you financial assistance if you ever hit the donut hole, but now in the middle of the year, my meds change. You come and see me. Norman, my meds have changed. Can we redo the search and find out if I'm still in the best plan? Well, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But if you're not, if there's a better plan out there, Prescription Advantage gives you a chance to switch.
Yeah.
You get one extra bite at the apple, as I like to refer to it. You can switch during the middle of the year, if that's what you have to do, but then that's it. You're stuck with that plan for the rest of the year until we come to, the happy occasion we find ourselves in now. Open enrollment from October 15th through December 7th. That's when we all have to choose prescription plans for next year. People who are on Prescription Advantage, I might be tempted to say, you know something? I don't want to see you until December 7th, December 8th. And the reason why is this. We can use the Prescription Advantage membership to sign you up a little bit later than normal for a prescription plan. As long as you haven't used your exemption during the year, you can use it anytime. So you can use it in June. We can use it December 8th, right? Because I'm a member of Prescription Advantage. If I want to wait till December 8th to sign up for a prescription plan, I can do that, no penalty. Right? And what it does, it helps me out because I don't have to see everybody before December 7th. Being selfish. It helps out that way.
And the key thing is, you only need to sign up once. It's not something that you need to sign up every year.
Right.
So once you have Prescription Advantage, you always have it.
You're a member for life.
Member for life.
Right. So if you can sign up, particularly if you can sign up for free, do it. I would not sign up for it if I had to pay the $200 because, again, you're not getting any benefits until you reach 35, 65 out of pocket for your meds. Right? So it doesn't make much sense to pay $200 for something you're not going to use. If you had to change your plan during the middle of the year, we can take care of that. We'll file the Prescription Advantage application, even if you are over the income limits for free membership. Don't worry about it. Changes can be made. Right? We know the tricks. Finally, just touch briefly. Okay, there are other programs out there that can help you. There's a program called Extra Help. Right? These particular programs I'm going to talk about briefly, there are income limits, there are asset limits. Extra Help is a program run by Medicare to help people pay for their prescription plans and to lower the copays for the meds. But there are income and asset tests that have to be made. On the high side for a single individual, we're probably talking about $1,525 a month gross income. Can't have assets more than $14,000. So there are tests that have to be made. But if you fit into that category, if you know somebody who you think fits into that category, they should be looking to file an application for Extra Help to help pay for the prescriptions and to lower the premiums. The state has programs, like Mass Health. And again, they've got various programs. Right? Mass Health Standard. How come I can't get on Mass Health? My neighbor's on Mass Health. Why can't I get on? It's because they have income and asset tests. Mass Health Standard is I would say, is the gold standard for Medicaid help in the state. But your gross income, if you're 65 and older, cannot be more than $1,025 a month. Can't have more than $2,000 in assets. Right? So the requirements are pretty cut and dry. There are other programs out there. Right? The state has a program that will even help you pay for your Medicare premium. But again, there's a test for that. Income has to be below, again, I'm ballparking, $1,400 a month. Assets, $7,500 a month. Right? So that if you think you fit into that category, make an appointment. With me or with Jen, we'll take a look at it. And as far as the hospital deductible, way back when we first started ranting here, I mentioned the Part A deductible for the hospital, $1,316. you can't afford the $193 a month Blue Cross plan. All you can afford is the $95. Well, the state has a program called the Health Safety Net. It looks at income only, does not look at assets. But again, the income limit is low. It's about $1,525 a month. We can file an application. If you meet the income test, state says if you have to go to the hospital, if you're Medicare and your health insurance does not pay the hospital copay, we will pay it for you. So there are ways around some of these issues. Right? So that just come see Jenny or me, and we'll help you figure out which is the best way to go.